He went to sea for the day. He wanted to know what to say when he's asked what he'd done in the past to someone that he loved endlessly. Now she's gone, so is he.
The first known settlement in the UK was the Brayford Pool. Since then, the pool has been of use to the Romans as an inland port, and from the 17th through to the 19th century it was used as warehousing. Since the 90s, it has come under a resurgence with numerous restaurants and bars creeping up. But through all this, one thing has stayed the same, and that is the lives of the canal owners and how they live afloat.
The general conception is that it's cold, it's freezing. That's the main thing. I never tell people I live on a boat unless we start talking about things, and I might mention I live on a boat. Some people specifically brag about being on a boat. And a friend of mine's wife was in a shop once and she said, "Oh, I live on a boat." And the woman said, "Whatever for?" Which I thought was quite good. I mean, a lot of our friends wouldn't dream of living on a boat.
No.
I mean, when you invite guests to sit in your front room and you touch your knees, it's not everybody's cup of tea.
No.
But we love it.
There are many things which a non-boater may think about living on a narrowboat. From is it always cold, always wet, to even the nonsensical of do they even wash, but they couldn't be further from the truth.
There are a number of myths where boating is concerned. There's the most obvious one is the supposed continual negativity that plastic boat users, glass fibre boats, cruisers have against narrow boats, and likewise vice versa. We all get on so well on the boats. It is a real community. If somebody has a problem with one boat, another boat will come alongside, doesn't matter what sort, and help out.
Many people think that running a canal boat is cheaper than running a house, yet people don't realise the amount of expense there is in owning one. There are fixed costs, licence fees, mooring fees and maintenance, variable costs as well, such as fuel, gas and water. Then there is also licences and insurance. All of this in the end does mount up. Even though Ted lives on the boat part-time, he still lives and works in the city, specialising in creating violins.
The actual day-to-day running of a narrowboat is no more expensive than running a house. Sometimes the commodities, your disposables like coal and such are more expensive because you have to buy them in smaller quantities. But no, it's pretty much on par with a house.
Running a boat is far more expensive now than what it was 3 years ago. The main factor is the licence, the mooring licence, and also with this being a residential, the council tax comes into the being.
The Lincoln Marina is a charity-based organisation next to the university, which looks after the Brayford Pool and surrounding waters. John Handley works for the pool and oversees most of its activities.
The narrowboat owners are, in the main, a mature person, because if you bear in mind, we've got some of our narrowboats will be cost in the region of £150,000 to £200,000. So you can imagine that really someone who takes that as a leisure pursuit, they've got a lot of spare cash.
Among narrowboat owners, there is a close bond of togetherness. They tend to help each other out from the most simple of things to the biggest of problems which they may encounter.
everybody helps each other. We're like a little village really, because all the boaters look out for each other. If it's flooding, well, people will walk down and make sure if anybody's out that their boat's, you know, rising and falling as it should be. And everybody's really, really good. We've got a lovely little, really, community, haven't we, down here?
Yeah, it's all right.
There are a couple of communities on the Fosdyke. There's the community which are the what's called the residential moorers. Now they extend out from the centre of town down towards the Parlight pub. They tend to keep themselves to themselves a lot. I think it's just their lifestyle. They want to be left on their own. The people on the moorings where I moor, it's very much a social gathering. It's very much a we will look after your boat, you look after our boat, and it's a very communal spirit.
The most common form of narrowboat owner are people who do not live on the boats full time. They see the narrowboats as more of a hobby than a way of life.
Narrowboat owners are virtually in two categories. So you have the people who can afford the boats as a leisure pursuit, and so they have their own homes and things, but then they go narrowboating, so their boats can price themselves up to about £200,000. The other end of the spectrum are the people who are not so well off and who see boats as a cheap way of living, if you like, and so they're on residential moorings, so they're not quite so good. They tend to be a little bit more different kind of clientele. But on the pool we don't have residential boaters. There's a fine line what is residential, because people who have these boats, they want to be on them. They treat them as sort of like weekend apartments and this sort of stuff. And it's very handy, of course, right in the middle of Lincoln.
Owning a narrowboat gives you the freedom to travel up and down using the numerous canalways which crisscross the country, from the Mersey, Trent, Severn and Thames. So overall, what is the appeal to be living on a boat? Is it the sense of freedom, sense of independence, or is it the love of living afloat?
The main appeal of living on a narrowboat is the ability to go where you want, when you want. If you decide to take a job in another town, you can move the narrowboat, moor it up, you've got your accommodation. It's just such a nice way of living. It's got fantastic appeal.
Well, I like to live on it because we're here now, and if I decided I wanted to go down the river, all I've got to do is under the ropes. I've not got to pack anything, put the milk in it, take some bread, take some butter. I can pack up and I can just move, and I can sit here and look at all the grass and the greenery. Yet I'm only half a mile from the middle of Lincoln. So I'm in the country type of thing. I get ducks tap on the window in the morning for some bread. I get swans tap on the window outside here for some bread in the morning, and I just love it. I just love it. And it's cosy and warm. And people, you tell people you live on a boat and they go, oh, I'd love to do that, but nobody ever does. It's just different. I just think it's a lovely, natural way of living. Brilliant.